Good afternoon. Welcome to this edition of Eagle Vision Newsbreak. I'm Julie Garner.
And I'm Devin Bishop. Here are the stories we're covering for you at this hour. Years after it stopped population growth by having a one-child policy, China has announced that married couples can have 2 children. This move comes as China is having to confront slowing growth and a rapidly aging society. Even though China is still the most populous nation, the population is expected to peak in a decade unless the birth rate starts rising. They did try to have a policy in 2013 like this, but it did not help as much as they thought it would. It did not because many countries heard about the one-child policy. After hearing about it, many people decided to not adopt from China. With this new policy, China hopes that the country will not decrease population.
On today's news from Passau, Germany, last year, more than 23,000 unaccompanied minors applied for asylum in the 28 member countries of the European Union, according to the United Nations. Since then, an estimated 30,000 alone are living in Germany. 10 months ago, 7-year-old Reza Mohammadi arrived to the Bavarian border town. What makes his story so unique is that he is believed by officials to be the youngest refugee to make it on his own. Reza's story brings awareness to Europe's migrant crisis of tens of thousands of children and teenage immigrants arriving on the shores of Europe from the Middle East. Many of Europe's new children are boys ages 14 to 17. These boys were sent by families who could not afford to pay for more than one smuggler. In Germany, Syrian, Afghan, and Somali young children will find an administration dedicated to them. Passau's head of the Youth Welfare Office said 3 years ago the term unaccompanied minor refugee was not in his vocabulary. Now, the city of Passau is one of the most popular gateways of escape.
At Los Angeles, 2 students were sexually abused got $3 million in a court case. They got this from jurors believing that the students deserved more compensation from their school district. The school hired a teacher who previously been in the situation of touching students, whose name is Paul Chappell III. He was found guilty of touching these 2 boys in this case and 11 other children. Chappell is now doing a 25-year jail sentence. John Manley, an attorney for the boys, hailed the jury for getting this amount of money to help the boys instead of the $500,000 that the school was going to give.
In today's most recent news in Georgia education, a small decline has been seen in math results for 4th graders and reading for 8th grade. According to the 2015 National Assessment of Educational Progress, students are struggling to understand core subjects. State officials plan to refocus on getting students better prepared in foundational work, increasing literacy efforts at an early age so students are better at reading and comprehending math. Based off of the NAEP results, Georgia students have been behind on reading and math for many years. The challenge that Georgia has in educating many low-income and non-white students has been highlighted in the test results. State education leaders have increased standardized tests to make them more in line with the national test, like NAEP and the SAT college entrance exam. The Obama administration announced that it wants to cap test taking time at 2% of classroom time, stating there's too much testing in schools. That's all for this edition of Eagle Vision Network.
Thanks for watching. We hope you'll join us again tomorrow.